Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished. Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0. Unfortunately, Gonzo, we're here to discuss the highlights, but there's not loads of them really. But we're going to do our best to try and dissect it. But before we get into the first half, how much on a heart attack on a scale of 0 to 10 did you have when Declan Rice went down, and why was that 10?
Yeah, I mean, it was the way he stumped. It was the way he thought he could carry on going. And then he went, and yeah, I mean, he just doesn't miss a game. Geo, he doesn't miss a game. So if he goes down, you know that there's a problem. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a problem and he played through it, by the way. We'll have to wait and see for the next game, mate, really.
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, the first half, what did you make of it at half-time? There's two sort of big opportunities in the first half. They both fell to Manchester United. The first one, Marcus Rashford's header, he missed from 6-7 yards out. And then that fantastic save by Fabianski to tip Greenwood's shot onto the post out for a corner. But at half-time, what were you thinking about the first 45?
Well, I guess I thought it was job done in that respect. I mean, it wasn't an enjoyable half. It wasn't. There was no real flow to the game at all. And, Antonio was isolated, very isolated up there. Bowen was struggling to get into a position where he could help him in any way. And I thought we were struggling for that width, for Johnson to try and get up and support, which he wasn't really able to do, which we saw he was going to go and change at some point as well. And we just couldn't get a hold of the game, but defensively solid. We were doing a good job of containing them, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not too indifferent from that. I thought defensively they were okay. A couple of times they slipped through. But when you get through your defence, you rely on your goalie. That's what he's there for. Fabianski tipped Greenwood's shot around the post, but that's what he's there for. We got a little bit lucky, I guess, but we just had nothing. Whenever we did look like we could spring a counter-attack, it usually fell to Bowen, who's not that quick. But when he did sort of run forward, there was only Antonio making a run. We had sort of, because Bowen was so deep when he collected the ball, it was actually McTominay or Fred that was on him, and that meant that Lindelof and Maguire could run with Antonio, saying, that's all right, we're going to come, both of these are coming, we're both coming with you. And we had nothing, there was no speed, and whenever we did, we were so slow, and there was at one point, Souček started running with it, Antonio did his run, Souček couldn't get to him, and Souček had to just keep running, and there was just no one to pass to. Johnson and Soufal struggled to get forward. When you play that formation, your width has to come from the wing backs. We had no width. And at times they did get forward. By the time they got there, we'd lost the ball. We'd conceded possession around Man United's area, and it was sort of right, everyone back again. It was a bit frustrating the first half. Defensively, we were okay, but offensively, we had nothing. But it's that old seesaw balance that if you want to do more offensively, you're going to give up even more of that defensive side you had. Well, we didn't have to wait too long for our goal. Gonzo in the 53rd minute. Manchester United made it 1-0. Corner in from Fernandes. McTominay glanced it on, bounced off Dawson's head into the back of the net. It's just...
Yeah, not how we thought we'd concede. He got the jump on. He got the jump on Johnson as well, didn't he? There, McTominay, and I mean, it took me a couple of replays to realise that Dawson had featured at all in there. I mean, it is gutting that we are so good at set plays. We were the bigger team. We are the better organised team. That we would concede in such a way, and at that point the tactical plan just goes right out the window, doesn't it? But you've got to be good at that. If you're going to play the way that we play, if you're going to have that set up and say, look, okay, we're gonna be tight at the back. We're going to play for 0-0 up until a point where we bring our subs on. You've got to do the basics right, and we just didn't on that one. And I didn't, I thought the way the corner was conceded wasn't great either.
We changed at half-time, though. We changed the formation at half-time, put Ben Johnson from left wing back to right wing, switched the forward back. And I kind of got why he done it, because Shaw and Rashford were causing us problems down that side. And this is the first game I think Soufal struggled. I think Soufal struggled from the first minute to the last minute. It's the first time I've seen opponent get the better of him continuously. There was times in the second half, before and after the goal, that Rashford was in acres of space down there left, and Soufal was just in no man's land. I don't know where he was half the time. That's the first time. So credit to Man United and credit to Marcus Rashford, I guess, and Luke Shaw. First time I've seen him really, really struggle. But actually, I thought they'd be better off coming down their right more often, because I thought Ben Johnson was looking ropey in the first half. I don't think he was having a particularly great game again. So we sort of switched formation, but then didn't really switch the personnel, which was half the issue. I think half the issue was the system wasn't working, but I think the other half the issue was the personnel. But we didn't switch that, and it felt a little bit more square peg in round holes. And that 1-0, it took 10 minutes. We got the subs on. Lanzini and Benrahma came on for Johnson and Mark Noble with half an hour to go or something. We didn't really create that much, though. There was a couple of almost moments, though. You know, Bowen had a free header that somehow he missed. He was offside, but he didn't know that.
No.
Nice bit of play to lay off Souček on the edge of the box. It looked like he had all the time in the world to shoot, but somehow it got blocked from half a yard away. So I don't know how that happened. They just never really threatened Man United's goal.
No, I mean, we looked better. I mean, what it allowed us to do was carry the ball into their half better by bringing on the 2 substitutions. And they looked like they like, you know, the interchange, and they understand how each other play, Benrahma and Lanzini. Of course, there's similarities between them as players. But we didn't throw. I mean, Man U played really well. And Man U are a good team. You know, they've got such technical players that even when we do press them, their one-touch play is very good. This is the thing when you have players that are as technically good as Fernandes and Rashford and Greenwood and players like that, they can just sort of knock it around you and sort of bypass what it is you're trying to do. I also thought they were very good at blocking the crosses. You know, like we were trying to get Cresswell down the left, and it's like they saw what we were trying to do, so they would move to block that or make us then play it back. It was difficult. I thought it was really, really difficult for us, and it was. You know, we did miss Lingard today. We did miss Lingard. There's no doubt about that at all. And then
I think we missed Fornals as well. I think we missed Fornals too, actually. I do.
Yeah, I felt as well that they were organised well at the back. They defended well. A lot of the things that we do well, Man United did well. They pressed well. They defended well. They had a good shape. They headed the ball out really well. They were just too good for us today, really.
Yeah, they were unlucky to only score 1 in the end. I think Fabianski had another good save for Fernandes. Greenwood hit the post. Soufal got his big toe to stop Marcus Rashford from just tapping in at the back post and stuff. On another day, they hit 2 or 3 goals against us there. And we could have played for another half hour tonight, Gonzo. I don't think we would have scored. You know, there was sort of 80 odd minutes or something. I came to get ready, and she said to me, you know, the game's not finished yet. I said, it might as well be. You know, I'm not going to miss anything. I'm better off just come and get the video ready. You could see the TV, but you know, when the injury time goes up, you normally get a little rally, don't you? Think, like, come on, then we've only got 3 minutes. There's none of that tonight. The injury ball went up, and I thought, thank God, there's only 3 minutes more to watch. I just had no sort of, I don't know. The team came out, Gonzo. I thought I could see what Moyes was trying to do. I thought it was the right formation. I thought with the personnel available, I thought it was the right personnel. But I would have liked to have seen a change at half time. And I felt like Man United were going to score in the first half. I thought we got to half time. I thought, okay, we're okay, but we got up there a little bit. This is going to sound really weird, but hopefully this makes sense. I was actually glad Man U scored in the 53rd minute because I thought they were going to. I felt they were going to score at some point. I thought if they scored in the 75th minute, we've had it because it's going to take 5-10 minutes to get the subs on. When they scored in the 53rd, I thought, right, here we go. We've got time. So our mark went half an hour. Lanzini and Benrahma, they had half an hour. I thought, okay, now we've got a third of the game left for these two to go on and influence the game. And I thought we looked better. Better with Benrahma and Lanzini. I thought Lanzini had some nice touches. Benrahma had some nice touches. But Man United did what you said. They blocked the channels up. So whenever we went to cross it, we had to go back and we were crossing it from 40 yards deep or something. So there was long diagonal. So if you overhit it, it bounces out for a goal kick. You're not hitting it from the side. So if it's overhit, it goes out for a throw-in on the other side. There's none of that. It's every time we were either crossing it and conceding possession, or we were going backwards and then hoofing up the pitch and conceding possession. It's not a good game. Where's it gone wrong for us tonight?
We just didn't have a cutting edge. I think it's really as simple as that. We couldn't find our cutting edge at all. I mean, look, we've defended well. We've only conceded 1 goal. That's pretty good. You know, we do have a good defence. But you didn't feel like maybe Man City where it could have gone another way or something like that. I felt we were outsmarted a lot of the time as well, tactically outsmarted. And I mean, funny enough to talk about that, the way they tactically fouled, I thought was very good. They fouled us in areas that weren't really going to harm them. You talk about depth. There was a couple of times that Cresswell was fouled, but it was so deep. I actually looked at it. It was almost like a rugby conversion where he was you know, athletically, it's quite hard to kick the ball that far, never mind kick it that far with accuracy and with curve to make it of course, Souček had a chance, didn't he, as well? Which I think the cross was possibly from Bowen, and maybe a little bit high. I think the cross was a little bit high for him, but yeah, no, small margins. I thought we did well to keep it as tight as we did, and 2 absolutely outstanding saves from Fabianski, and another one, a very good one from Fabianski as well. So we were just outdone in almost every department, but not thrashed. Not thrashed. And that's why the cutting edge. If we could have created, I'd like to think if we could have got a chance or 2 more in and around the 6-yard box, we might have scored a goal. But had we have scored a goal, it would have been an upset, and it would have been undeserved, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Like I said, I thought the lineup at the start was right before the game, but I thought it was the wrong lineup. I was wrong to think it was the right lineup before the game. At halftime, we changed a little bit. They were just a better team, and we were strangely, like you said, the free kicks were conceding. Creswell was doing well to reach the 18-yarder with it. We were having to rely on a flick on a bit. Man United dealt fantastically well with our corners and stuff. We had that one corner in the second half. It got whipped in. It was a decent enough corner. It was a free header for the Man United defender in the 6-yard. I think Maguire, bang, out it went. And I thought, I'm not seeing. They looked comfortable defending our set pieces. And that's the first team I think I can say that about this season, actually, that when we got corners and free kicks, I didn't really feel we were going to get anything. Anyway, how are you feeling? Disappointed, angry, frustrated? We move on? What?
Look, yeah, I mean, it's disappointing. It is disappointing, but it was. It ain't over. It's not over at all. I'd never had us down to win this game, even though I did all the predictor league and all the rest of it. Actually, I know I said a 1-1 before in the build-up. I had this down as a loss. I had Leeds as a win. I had this down as a loss. We can still do it. We really can. He's got to go out and attack more now, David Moyes. But I do feel, unless there are more injuries, like we discussed with Declan Rice and whatnot, that's always going to be the biggest hindrance. Jesse Lingard's made a big difference to West Ham, and now we have him for the rest of the season. So I don't think that was an easy game for Man U either. So we'll see. We need to now win some games, and I think we can. So let's next game's a big one though.
I think we're okay because of the results from the other teams this weekend. Actually, we haven't lost too much ground. Chelsea's gained a point on us, and Leicester's obviously won the game. And I think Man United, that's a big win for Man United tonight. Actually, that's a big test. All they'll have gone away from that thinking, I don't want to play them again. I'm glad that they were missing Fornals as well. But he'll also be thinking, they'll nick something off Leicester and Chelsea. They will get West Ham will do us a favour later on this season. He will nick something. I think Moyes got it wrong tonight, and I'm aware. Like I said, that means I got it wrong. I'm just a little West Ham fan in an armchair swinging around occasionally. We got it wrong tonight, but we write it off. We go again next week. Individual performers.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Antonio worked really hard. I mean, really, really worked hard today. And fair play to him. Fair play to him. I thought Souček tried. But ultimately failed. Rice did okay. Rice did okay today, but he couldn't really stamp his authority on the game. I thought Johnson, alas, bless him, was poor today, really. And unfortunately, and I'll tell you now, my man of matches, which is Fabianski. I know we do it later. And when you're goalkeeper, you think your goalkeeper's man of the match, and it doesn't. It sort of says an awful lot about how the game's gone. I wasn't around to talk about the Leeds game. And I know he made a mistake which wasn't punished, but I have thought Diop has looked better, and I've he's trying to carry the ball out of defence and stuff like that, and he won some good tackles today as well, and we had to defend quite well, and we did defend well because they're such a good team. Cresswell couldn't really get it going either, unfortunately, today, which is another thing really. But Bowen, it didn't really work out, mate. It just, not a lot of things worked for us today.
I think everyone worked hard. I agree with the Antonio thing. I saw him do a 40-yard defensive runs. He sprinted after someone. It was good to see. I think Bowen at one point was holding his hamstring. I thought he was injured, and he just carried on, which is a bit of a concern that he sort of looked like he was struggling a little bit. I thought he was poor in the first half, Jared Bowen. I thought he was really poor. But in the second half, I thought he got a little bit better. He seemed to almost get a bit of a free roll once the substitutions were made. He was popping up on the right, the left, centre. I thought he got a little bit better, but just not influential enough. I thought Noble was really poor. I think at the start, I said to you, I think there's a bit of pressure on him to justify his inclusion tonight. He didn't justify it at all. If anything, all he's done is justify the fans that were disappointed with the lineup and thought it was too defensive again from David Moyes against a top six side, because they've been proven correctly. We've lost the game. Noble was poor. I didn't think Diop was that good. I know you obviously said he's looked quite good. I thought he looked a little bit shaky. I think Dawson looked a little bit ropey as well. I think Sufal was a little bit ropey tonight. I don't think Fabianski was the only one to me that was really, really good. The only one with pass march. I think Rice and Solchek were all right. They weren't bad. They weren't good. They were just all right. It's just a bit frustrating, really. It's not the first time. I just thought it was a massive opportunity tonight, Gonzo, with the results that have gone our way so far. It's only a 1-0 defeat, but it does feel like I don't mind losing if we have a goal, and I just don't feel like I didn't feel like we had a goal tonight, Gonzo. I felt like we were a bit scared, a little bit timid, and the goal difference is not in our favour in this league. Goal difference means naff all to us. We're not going to catch Chelsea in goal difference. We just aren't. So 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, it doesn't really matter. If we lose, we lose. If goal difference makes nothing for West Ham this season. Last season it meant everything. It was an invisible point to us against Aston Villa and stuff. Tonight, now in the league, Chelsea have got an invisible point over us. So just this 1-0, I think Moyes will be okay with it. He'll be disappointed with the result and the performance, but I think he'll think it's not the worst result in the world. It's all right. We can take that. We can deal with that. But I don't know. I just felt we were a bit too scared. I think we showed Man Utd too much respect. And I don't know. It's a missed opportunity. And it's not just the result in the game. I think it's a missed opportunity to have a go at Man United. Henderson's gloves are clean. The geezer did nothing. It was the easiest game he's ever had. I can't remember him making a save. Did we even have a shot on target?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember. No, we were no threat. We were no threat.
We had nothing. We just had nothing. It's frustrating, that's all. But hard to be angry, I guess. Arse. Is that how you're going to sum it up? Is it? Yeah. What of arse?
That's been my week as well. Arse. There you go.
People are saying that there were 0 shots on target. I'm not surprised. A half an hour ago, there was 0 shots on target in the game, but we were just. It's frustrating. And what's your final words? Obviously, Fabianski's your man of match. He's my man of match as well. I thought he was unbelievable tonight. 2 or 3 good saves and nothing he could do for the goal.
Tactics wrong, Geo. Not only tactics wrong, when we wanted to do the changes, we did the change. It did make a difference. We didn't actually have another one. We needed to do another change, and we didn't have that guy on the bench. No, I don't know. That could have been Yarmolenko or anyone, just somebody that would give an additional goal threat. Just when it got to the end, and we were having a couple of attacks, if you like. We were getting... Whilst we didn't produce shots, we were sort of getting it in and around their box. Somebody to do something.
This is where I say, then what's the point of having Odebeko on the bench? If you ain't going to bring your striker on when you need a goal, when are you going to bring him on?
I thought he might, but I also couldn't see anybody that he would have taken off to allow that to happen. We now have to go for it. We now have to go for it. There's no point. There's no point doing this defensive stuff anymore. Listen, I'm not saying we throw the baby out with the bathwater. We still got to play in the West Ham style that we have been, right? But this has got to be done. We've really got to go and attack teams now and force shots on opposition goals.
Yeah, I think we've got a pardon the harsh language here. We've got to show a set of bollocks against Arsenal now, actually. We've got to show a little bit of bollocks. They had a good result. They've done us a favour today. They're looking all right recently, Arsenal. And we need to win. We need to beat Arsenal. We have to simply win that game. And I think we've got to get something against Chelsea or Leicester, or either 2 draws or beat one and lose the other one. We've got to do something against Chelsea and Leicester as well. A big few games coming up. It could be in three games' time and find ourselves the Champions League sort of thing is gone, if you like. Yeah. We still have the Europa League thing, still not the end of the world. It just I want to sort of carry on with this dream a little bit longer. I want to go on to match day 33 with this dream alive, this little bit of hope alive, and that's what I hope for. Anyway, shall we leave it there, my friend?
Yes, indeed, mate.
Anyway, if you enjoyed this review, please drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel. Gonzo, good to see you back, my friend.
Cheers, mate.
Take care.